Many have spoken of areas of the lower astral on their real side adventures that have a mechanical, biological theme to it, and this dark and dismal place was no different. Sometimes when we go to such places, we do become aligned with our environment. We can take on the taint of it, even so far as to become a product of it, as on one occasion I recounted on a dream experience how I tumbled into my sister's unconscious and became a monster, and a guide was there to remove this affliction and grant me passage back. In some places it is easier to slip into the personal self, it seems, particularly these very dense places, such as the physical and astral, although we can maintain our connection of awareness regardless of where we are. Seems I had moved more so into my personal self here in this place, aligning a little too much with the restricting nature of the environment. I'm reminded of the movie What Dreams May Come, when Robin Williams sought his deceased wife on the astral, but was warned by the seeker, Max Sydow, not to linger long, lest he also become aligned with the dark place, and become with it, and trapped there also. Agreeing effectively with what his literal senses tell him, and disconnecting from his real self that knew it was a created illusion. Even in my reduced awareness state, I was still sharing the ease, so always an opportunity to share the new will present itself, but seems folly to even try to engage with self-convinced religious peoples. Seems they so adore their loving reptilian god. But as I said, I have this facility that is in my arsenal, my skill set, that I must have developed from other lifetimes, as I've always had the ability, as I was an avid astral projector and out-of-body explorer in past lives too. And so I was able to extricate myself from my predicament. I'm certain the guides were watching, but like parents with their children, they will give them space to play and learn for themselves, to allow them to deal with situations and become more effective and aware as a result. If I was trapped, a guide may have come to my aid, as in my monster transformation experience. The conduit opening exercise was interesting. I suspect that was the reason then for my activities involving moving people about in time. Maybe I was actually moving myself about, altering timelines and time phases, popping into old lifetimes and adjusting a few things with my old body forms that would result in cause and effect ripples that, when reaching the moment I was in, would somehow create a conduit. Instant ripples, as everything is now, and there is no time in the new nowness of the is, as it is an agreed upon idea in creation. So anything we adjust, no matter how many lifetimes ago, will have an instant bearing, if we do but recognize it. For on a few real side dreams I was shown how in the moments and future yet to come, Nufriends seemed to have been granted, or perhaps recognized, the ability to translocate themselves, and on that occasion they were using this ability to escape the destruction of the earth. Perhaps then a viable option, but maybe not so much a physical translocation. Dabbling with phenomena can get us in bother, cause and effect karmically speaking, but of course, if we stand in the new nowness of the all is, and our real intent is cemented, we are beyond cause and effect. Anyway, maybe the translocation is more along the lines experienced here, that with awareness and recognition we can access the means by which we can create these wormholes, portals, and conduits by somehow delicately manipulating our own past lifetimes and positions. And it is through these that we may move ourselves to better and safer positions as the demise of creation continues. For the portal was forged on the physical, only perceivable from my awareness in-betweeny state. So awareness is required to recognize portals of this nature. But the portal then took me to the real side, not a physical translocation then, but more a shifting of my focus from my physical life level vehicle to potentially another in perhaps a higher level in creation. And so our physical vehicle would remain and maybe be destroyed in the apocalyptic disasters that are coming, but our focus would be on a higher life level. Technically then, with the physical level vehicle destroyed, we have effectively passed on, but didn't need to bear the pain and suffering of experiencing its end. With this practice, we might be getting prepared to do this far earlier than the very last conceivable moment, perhaps before all the 5G and such kicks in, that we can continue with our process of awareness unmolested on a life level more favourable for such. But we can't be complacent, as all of creation is on a decided and agreed upon course of demise. So in our new positions reached via our created conduits, we would endeavour to recognise the ease and make the final leap into it and beyond the collapsing psych realms, but a reminder to keep the personal self at bay. As we can see, the thoughts, emotions, and such we entertain seem very irrelevant to the personal self, but too much focus on them, and we can sabotage our real side activities, particularly those that require full immersion with the real self for them to be executed precisely. In this case, the difference between a portal to maybe a higher life level or one to the lower astral. As for the peoples in that dark place, well, all we can do is share and present the ears and give them the opportunity. They are the deciders of their life, and must choose to take the time to recognize the true reality, or remain confined and restricted by creation and their personal created selves. Dwayne provides a view. We all have a personal self, and it's a lot to get through. Decisions have to be made every step of the way. It's like a road trip. When you get in the car and drive off, there's a lot of decisions. Left turn, right turn. Will we take this road? Are we going here? How are we going to get there? Where are we going, etc. It's all deciding and eventually realizing. First comes realization. This is what we've been through. The old ideas of self-realization, God-realization, and now you realize what the self is. You realize the God idea. Now you learn to recognize what is real, and that's a lot better. And so become a bizarre risk taker with us, and become more aware and self-sufficient. Sing new you, and see for yourself on the real side life is, and learn to earn your real freedom into the real universes of the true reality life is. No more restrictions or authorities ever.